31 viewers right now, 45, 55, okay, 63, that's pretty good. 75, let's see if any more people are coming. 79, okay, sorry.
Hello everyone, I'm Priya. I work as the chef de cuisine at Yarana, Singapore. Yarana is a modern Indian restaurant where we combine great food with great ambience by the river Kallang. Apart from that, I work as a consultant chef for other restaurants, and I teach culinary under my brand Soulful Creation. So that's all about me. So before I start my recipe, I would like to thank Amul India for giving me this platform. Today I'll be showing you how to make a mushroom croustade. Croustade is a French culinary term for a crispy shell or a crust. And this crust you can make with bread, with the puff pastry, with rice, grated potatoes, and even with the vermicelli. And the filling also you can make with mushrooms, paneer, chicken, ham, mincemeat. The choice is yours. So today I'll be showing you how to make with bread, which is one of the most easily available, and the filling I'll be making with mushrooms and bell peppers. So these are the ingredients for it. So I'll be using two types of mushroom, which is the Swiss brown mushroom and the white button mushroom. It's not necessary that you have to use brown mushroom. If it's not available, you can just use the white button mushroom. And then garlic, white onion, then bell peppers. I'm using 3. If you know it's not available in your place, you can just stick to 1. It's up to you. And the spring onions, then some parsley, Italian parsley, and the chives. Chives are using for the garnish. And I'm using some Amul grated cheese and butter, then cream, is plain flour, seasoning powder. So this is a all-purpose seasoning powder. If you don't have seasoning powder in your place, you can always use a small piece of vegetable cube. So the vegetable cube, so don't put any vegetable stock because we don't want the mix to be gooey. And salt only if it's required, because we are using a lot of cheeses and also only if it's required. Please check the seasoning, and if you think that the seasoning is less, then you put the salt. Then cayenne pepper and black pepper. If the cayenne pepper is not available, just use your normal Kashmiri chili powder. And Parmesan cheese, you will do it for the finishing later. So I think I've introduced all the ingredients, and I'll start with the filling because the filling has to get cool before you make it. I've prepared some filling and kept. So this will be the filling I'll be making. I'll show you how to make the filling now. And it's a very easy recipe because the crust can be made ahead and keep it like a couple of days before, and in an airtight container. And even the filling you can make and keep it ahead. So only the finishing, when you have a party, you just need to do the finishing by fill the case with the filling. Then you sprinkle some Parmesan cheese and bake in the preheated oven, and for 3 to 4 minutes, and you're done. And I promise you, it's a really yummy appetizer. It will be always a crowd pleasing. So these are the shells which I have prepared and kept, but I'll be making again. So see, this one I made it yesterday. I'll make again I'll give a demo how to make it. So I'll put some butter first. I'm using around 100 grams of mushroom, 100 grams of white and 100 grams of brown mushroom. So if you increase the quantity, please increase. All the ingredients I will put in my Insta handle, which is Chef Priya Joseph. And when you are using butter, it's better to put a little bit of oil. So for this recipe, I'm using olive oil. Because why we are putting this? Because If you add oil, it prevents the butter from burning. So let it get hot first. It's already warm. Don't make it too hot because we don't want the garlic to get burned immediately. So first we put the garlic so that the flavor get infused in the oil. Now we put the onions, white onions. We don't need to make it brown because we just need to make it translucent. Translucent means like slightly pink, so we don't have to over brown it. So now I'll put, can you see at this stage I'll put the mushrooms. And when you're cooking mushrooms, right, you don't put all the mushrooms at one time because we don't want the water comes out from the mushroom. We are not stewing the mushroom, so we just need to get stir fried, like, you know, you have to saute the mushroom. So if you put too much mushroom at one time, what happens is a lot of moisture will come out because the mushroom has a lot of water content. And now I'll put the remaining one. So people who don't like the bell peppers, you can avoid it, because I add the bell peppers and the spring onions because it gives a nice crunch. Otherwise everything will be a little gooey. So now I'll add my seasoning powder. It's the all-purpose seasoning powder. And I'll add the cayenne pepper, a pinch. I will not put the salt now. I will check the seasoning later and I'll add it if it's required. Some black pepper. Can you see there is no water coming out? So at this stage, I will put the flour. The flour gives a little bit of binding. Now I'll reduce the fire. Stir for a few seconds. Now I'll add the cream and the cheese. This is Amul processed cheese and the cream. The bell peppers, I'll put it later because I want that crunch. Now I'll put the bell peppers and the spring onions. So all three colors. And finally I'll put some parsley also. It's a very easy one, you can see, and it will not take even 5 minutes to make the filling once you have done all your prep work. So I'll put some parsley. If you don't have the fresh parsley, you can buy the dried one. I'm not using the English parsley, I'm using the Italian. So if it's not available, please go ahead with the English parsley. So the filling is done. So we cannot use it immediately because it has to get cooled down completely. Otherwise your crust, the prepared crust, will become soggy. So I'll keep this aside and I will use the filling which I already prepared a while back. I'll check the seasoning if I have to put the seasoning. I'll add a pinch, a tiny pinch, because I'll be topping up with the Parmesan cheese later, because that also is salty. Okay, so I'll keep this aside. Now I will do the crust, how to make the crust. For this I'm using, and before keeping the you can put a wet tissue or a kitchen cloth or whatever, so that it will be firm. That's how in the restaurants also we use it, so that you get a nice grip. Now I'll cut the, it's not necessary you have to use this kind of cutter. You can use glass or a small bowl which is circular. Okay, and you will think what I'll do with this, right? Because it will become a waste. No, it will not become a waste. What you can do is that you can make croutons out of it. See? And these croutons you can use for your salads, your soups and all. And it's very easy to make. Just cut it into the edges, make it a square, and square or rectangle, doesn't matter. And then in the olive oil, just add some herbs. I have put Italian herbs, some chili flakes, some garlic powder and a pinch of salt. I mixed it, and then once you cut it, just put all the small cubes in a bowl, toss it well. Then while you are baking itself, you can put on a parchment paper, layer it and bake it 180 degree for like 7 to 8 minutes or 6 minutes depending upon your oven temperature. And you get like really nice croutons which you can use for your salads and your soups. So for this I'll be making so everybody will not have the tart molds like this, so for them you can always use your muffin pan also. So the method is same. You cut a circular disc like this and always grease it and push it inside and you can use it. The temperature, everything is same. You have to preheat the oven at 180 degree for approximately like 10 minutes and then bake it at 8 minutes for 7 to 8 minutes. That one I'll show you now. I've greased some and kept, so you have to grease it generously so you get nice and become crispy also. The bread will get crispy. Can you see? It should not have any air pockets. Like this. So no need to prick or anything. It's just nice to go into the oven. Only the important thing is that you have to push this part nicely, because so that we will not get air pockets. And better to keep like this and turn it so that the sides are equal size. I'll just make 2 more because I already have some shells, so we don't have to waste time. Okay, so I'll put it in the oven to bake now. Make sure it sticks nicely. Huh? I'll keep it in the oven for 8 minutes. I'll make one more. So it's like this, and it's ready to go. I have preheated the oven already, so I'm just going to pop it in the oven. I will keep the timer for 8 minutes. So meanwhile, I'll fill the one which is already prepared. So not so good. It's okay. Already I prepared this before and it's cool already, so it's ready to use. So just fill it almost full. Then don't put too much cream or don't put any wet liquid stock, because it will make the filling very gooey and we don't want watery. So I'll put the Parmesan cheese on top. So till this part, right, you can make it ahead, like the filling can be made ahead, the shell can be made ahead. Only during the time of, like, if you have got some guests coming, only this part you need to do it a minute, like just before serving. You can use the phyllo sheets also, but yeah, the crust, the texture will be different, so it's up to you. So this one I'll keep it aside for the for them to get ready. I will keep my plate ready in the meanwhile for plating. So I'm doing a very basic plating because I know that this show is meant for the home cooks, so no need to do very elaborate plating and all. It's a simple plating, just put some greens for the color. And like now after once it is baked, I'm just going to put chopped chives, which I showed you already. So it's not, so if you want to make it more fancy, you can make a tulle out of chive oil, and or you can make a foam. So you can do anything, like it's up to your creativity what you want to play. But since this show is mainly meant for the home cooks, so I'm just doing the basic one. You can make a Parmesan cheese tulle, so it will go very well with it. So a very simple one. So you just need to have a nice platter, red or white or black. It will look very nice rather than the platters which has always in the restaurant also. We don't use platters with bold designs. We always go for the simple ones so that we can showcase what you're making, like all the designs, like whatever we make, the splashes and all, it comes out well on a plain platters. I need to waste it. So another 2 minutes, it will be ready. Any questions? I'll reply to some of the questions I've missed, but I will reply to all the questions later. Once I see the comments. And I have a Insta handle, Chef Priya Joseph, where I upload regularly my creations, and I have a YouTube channel. The link is there. With my hectic work schedule, and the chefs will not get that much of time, so I'm not very regular, but I'm planning to be very regular in my YouTube channel. Please do visit, subscribe, and see the videos. There are only few, but all are really awesome recipes. So yeah, I'll try my best to upload more. And the detailed recipe of this mushroom croustade with the ingredients and the quantity, everything, I'll be putting in my Insta handle, Chef Priya Joseph. Once you take it out from the oven, we need to keep it on a wire rack so that it gets cooled from the bottom nicely and it doesn't become soggy. So if you don't have, just keep it on a plate, like no dry plate where it can get cool. So the shells are ready. So can you see? It's nice and crispy. So I'll just keep it on the mold will be very hot. Please don't go and touch it. I'm just touching only the bread. I will use the same pan to. These are super hot. So I will make one more. Put some cheese. And if you want, you can put mozzarella, but I've tried with mozzarella. I didn't like that much. Just the Parmesan cheese is good enough. We don't want to make like a pizza top like, no. So now another 4 minutes and you are done. So when you are entertaining guests, you know, you could see it make out right. It just take 4 minutes, like, you know, once it is ready, everything is ready. Just put the filling, put the topping, preheat the oven and keep it, and then pop it in the oven. So the shells can be made ahead. So it's really nice, very crispy shells, and you can put it in a Tupperware like the one I showed you, like, you know, so that it remain crispy. But not too many days, just 1 or 2 days, couple of days is the maximum, and don't keep it in the fridge, just leave it outside. I'll just make some space. The croutons also can be made like, you can make and keep it for 4 to 5 days, nothing will happen. Put in an airtight container, so nothing goes waste. So is there any other questions? Just let me know, then I'll reply at the earliest. For this much recipe, the amount of 100 gram of mushroom and all, I have used like 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper and 1/8 of seasoning powder. Not much, because the seasoning powder is just to give some flavor, and don't put too much because you will get, you know, the taste will be too much of oil, and I don't want that, like, too much of seasoning, just a nice flavor, that's all. So 1/8 of a spoon will be more than enough for the quantity of the mushroom I do. So if you don't have the all-purpose seasoning powder, like I said before, please use the vegetable cube, not the liquid stock. And cream, I use 1/3 cup, 1/3 cup of cream, and I use a tablespoon of the flour. Then what else? Yeah, that's all right, important things. Should be ready by now. I'll just keep for a minute more. For the question. any questions? Okay, I think the recipe is very clear. Nobody has any doubts. Were you? Yeah. Yes. So you don't have to like know the cheese to be really. So it's just the should just slightly melt. That's more than enough. So we don't want to make the crust too brown. So now you put the just a bit of chives on the top. So that's it. I hope the recipe is very clear to all of you, and I promise you this is a really interesting appetizer and people will love it. I've taught this in a lot of my classes and people used to really enjoy this. And please do try it home, and once you try, please click a picture and tag me in my Insta handle so I can see your creations, and hopefully I can see you again. And if you haven't visited Yarana, please do visit. It's an amazing restaurant. So we serve delicious food there, and when the world opens up and when you travel to Singapore, please do visit Yarana. I would like to look forward to seeing all of you, and see you sometime with another recipe, and take care. So bye bye, signing off.